everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Strawberry Hill Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Simmons, and we are at the lovely The Shop Cigar Lounge. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, if you haven't been down here, you got to come down here and see it. And before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you share our stuff when it comes out. Follow us on YouTube. Check us out every time we got an episode. And so we are about to begin. Today we got Mr. Matt, was it Jones?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad I got it right. All right. And so how you been, man?
Been all right. Can't complain. How about yourself?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And so we got you on here, and we got this product that you brought me not too long ago that I don't know much about, but I'm sure a lot of people do. It's called CREASE BEAST. Right? You got it? Zoom in. Yes. So you are owner and operator of CREASE BEAST, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So tell us a little bit about that, man, because this seems, I know this is taking off. I've checked you out, and you are booming, man.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, it was a thing we used to do back in the day when I was like in middle school. We would just like stuff our shoes with socks, and then it like revolutionized 20 years later randomly just on a conversation like, hey, this idea for a crease protector, it might actually work. Remember what we used to do back in the day? It was me and my co-founder would talk about, and we just took a chance, put it out there, and created something brand new, invented a product, and it took off. 2 years ago we started, and
you started 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
Oh man, for some reason I thought you started way like years back.
Yeah, it was only 2 years, so it took off like almost immediately. We had like a sellout, our first load, and just kind of put us back. But it was a good problem to have. Your product's selling, people are interested, so it's been a hell of a journey so far.
So okay, you got to tell me, what exactly is it?
Yeah, so
can we open it?
Yeah, absolutely. You can whip it out, see what it looks like.
Here, I'll let you do it.
For sure.
Make sure with you.
Yeah, so the crease protectors currently that are on the market are usually like a hard plastic kind of material that you put in front of your shoe. It's impossible to walk.
So are those mostly for like if you're not wearing them, you just put them in your closet?
No, it's
like
actually
they have it for you walk on it?
When you walk and wearing them, yes. Believe it or not, people wear these inside their shoes while they're walking around. Like the ones that are on the market before we invented this, hard plastic, like it's literally impossible to walk normal in those. So we were like, you know what? Let's put this soft piece of memory foam that we got here, super soft, pliable, kind of basically fills that negative space inside your shoe that's basically between the top of your shoe and the inside of your foot. It comes with a nice little breathable foot sleeve that you slide on over your sock. It's like a real super thin material. Check it out. Real stretchy, thin material that goes over your sock. And it has a pocket on it. And that's where this foam insert goes into. And that foam insert is what fills the negative space inside your shoe. So when you're walking, the foam is super soft. It's going with you so you can walk normal, and it's knocking out the crease in your shoe.
Look at that. So does it come with two of the memory foams?
Yeah, it comes with a pair left and right, one pair per pack. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
So how did you come up with that idea?
So I believe it or not, I worked in the footwear industry for like 15 years.
Where at?
After high school, like several places, Foot Locker, Dick's Sporting Goods, Skechers. I mean, you name it. I've worked at those footwear stores. I was a store manager. I mean, started from like the bottom pretty much, warehouse, those kind of shifts. Then it worked on a sales associate, then manager, then store manager, then like multi-unit manager. So I was all throughout the footwear industry before any of this started. So I kind of seen what was developing, like people were buying more for aesthetics. Yeah. People like to keep the shoes that they're buying. They're spending a lot of money on them. So they want to last the longest possible, look good as possible, while they're wearing them. So I seen an opportunity in the market of that niche of crease protection developing. So I'm like, all right, there's a better way to do this. And, we launched the CREASE BEAST, and thankfully it's taken off.
So how did you come up with, I guess, like the memory foam? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of trial and error.
For sure.
Yeah. Like, I mean, how long was that process, like, of you creating something like this?
Yeah. So it took a whole year for it to really develop itself. We first experimented with all kind of different materials. I mean, anything that was soft, we ordered it and tried it. Like,
did you just like have to cut it out?
Yeah, we just cut it out in the shape of the shoe, sponges. I mean, use air pockets. I mean, all kind of different things. And we kind of landed on this foam because it had the best durability to it, and it's built to last. Like this foam does not deteriorate or anything. It's like a real soft.
Check it out.
Yeah, you can check it out. It's like a polyurethane kind of foam. It's a special formula. It's patent pending, but it's different.
That's another thing I was going to ask about patents. Yes. Like, how many did you have to get before you launched?
Well, they're still in pending status. I mean, we wish we could have expedited them, but that patent process is a doozy, and we've been trying to get it done as soon as possible. But like we have a design patent pending, a non-utility patent pending, and not only the U.S. but multiple countries, because we've sold it in 60 different countries so far.
Oh, shit.
And like the demand is worldwide for real. And we already even have a copycat in China that we're battling.
That's not a surprise.
Yeah,
that means you're doing something right.
Exactly. So I looked at it. It's flattery, of course, but it's still, you got to go to court and you got to battle them, try to trademark infringement, all kind of stuff we're battling. But we knew that if a product is going to be good, then people are going to try to copy it. I mean, regardless. So
I guess tell me about the early days of you creating this. Like, so you got it, you got the product that you think you want. Now what's the next step after that?
Yeah, so
I love hearing stories of entrepreneurship, and
it's good because it all started here in Kansas City. I was working like part time at Foot Lockers doing overnight stuff, and on the other side of it, I was working on this because I couldn't work a full time job and devote the time needed to figure this out. So I just took a hit financially and was like, all right, I'm just figure this out. So I went to like a local seamstress and had her like sketch out a kind of sock that it would hold in. And I would like get balls, sponges. I was telling you, like, all kind of different materials that could possibly go in it. I went through like 30 different prototypes before this one landed on the foam.
And so who's like trying it out? Is it just you, or is it just
me and a group of people? So like me and just some cousins, nieces and nephews. I'm like, hey, I need y'all to walk around in this for a few weeks. Let me know how it feels. Is it too big? Do I need to skew it? So I have my own sample group. It was family, granted, but they helped out and it worked. But we're still tweaking it as we go. Like we get customer feedback all the time. Like, hey, could you make a size for these kind of shoes? So since we launched, we've had 5 additional sizes come out.
Really? So this is not like one size fits all.
It was made to be that way, but since all shoes and feet are different, we just had to start making different sizes.
So you come up with it, and then you're going to these seamstresses. You're getting now you got it. So what's the next step after that?
So we were like, okay, we've never invented anything. So we're like, how do we even get this invention like brought to life? So we looked at this company called Invent Help first, because that was like some infomercial we seen. And we seen that they had like packages of stuff that we couldn't afford at the time. So we're like, you know what? We could figure out a different way to make this. So, we had heard through a few friends that have gotten stuff manufactured for like apparel, that there's this company, Alibaba, that you can go direct contact to manufacturers in different countries, and they can help you pretty much bring your visions to life. So once we found out, like, all right, we want to use this material, we want to use this foam, let's see if one of these manufacturers can make it. And like we sent them samples, and then one thing led to another, and we got a few prototypes sent back to us, and like it went a few more after that. We had to go through a few different manufacturers to figure out which one was the best. But the whole 2021 year we spent figuring it out, and then we launched January 2022.
January 2022.
Yeah.
So did you just launch in just like your garage, like pretty much like, hey, I'll put this on my Facebook, social media. If you want to buy it, this is how much it is.
That's exactly how we did it. Just straight out from did all the stuff out of our apartments, had shipments, boxes everywhere. And we're just hoping, like, we launched it on the internet. We built up a little social media following beforehand, like just hashtagging and commenting on different people's posts. And we also, paid nicekicks.com. They're like a media outlet for footwear companies to kind of broadcast their company. So we paid them for a launch post so they can say, hey, check out this new crease protector. And that really helped us like gain some steam. So once we saw visibility and they seen that, okay, there's a new crease protector out, they're willing to try it.
And so it just like popped off right off the jump?
Immediately.
Did you keep up?
No, we couldn't. Like, we sold out for like 4 or 5 months of the whole year. Like the first year we started, about 5 months of the year we were out of product completely.
Man, and that's I guess it's a good and bad thing. Like, hey, we're doing great, but we can't keep up with demand.
Exactly. So it's tough. So, we're getting all the stuff manufactured in China. So like the turnaround time for an order is like, 2 to 3 months. Yeah. So, we sell out, and then we got to just basically hype. We build our email list up like, hey, it's going to be coming back soon, restock coming soon. Like, just pound the internet with the restock. And then once the restock came out, sold out again immediately.
Jeez.
So we're like, all right, we got to be prepared for the holidays. And then we kind of start getting better at how we order, the frequency we order, things of that nature.
So are you still sold out, or you good?
We're good right now. We're good, thankfully. Like we've been able to right the ship, but we got some new products coming out pretty soon that, we hope to keep this buzz going. Like we actually favor sellouts now because it just builds more demand, builds more people subscribing to our email list, and just more potential reach.
So you guys have been out 2 years.
2 years now.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And so you said new product. Can you talk about the new product?
Yeah, absolutely. We've already informed our social media following. So right now, as you see, the product is composed of a foam insert and a foot sleeve. So the original plan was not to make a foot sleeve. It was to make a full-length sock with the pocket on it to put the foam in, so you don't have to wear 2 socks essentially. Yeah. And it was really hard to get that manufacturer. It took us 2 years to find somebody, but we finally found him. And we got these socks coming out in a few months. We've already told our social media followers that, be on the lookout for the full-length socks. And we think that's going to hit like crazy because it eliminates one of the only risk factors in the actual product itself. Is some people complain that the sock, slides around a little bit, so like, right, to stop all that, just negative feedback, a whole clean sock that you can use with the pocket. So that's the big one coming out in a few months.
So do you have anything else that you sell other than this?
Right now we just sell that in a few different sizes of it, but we are going to come out with like your general footwear, shoe care products like the shoe cleaners. We're going to have our own twist to all this stuff though. Yeah. And we do have a new inventions in the pipeline coming out that have been never before seen. So we're just not a regular shoe care company. It's how we look at it. We're innovative. We come out with new products. We improve upon the new products, the products that are out there in the footwear market right now. So we got a lot coming, and we're very excited.
So where can somebody find this at? Just on social media?
Yeah, so it's strictly e-commerce. So we do it all online sales right now. CREASEBEAST.com is where you can get it. We can also sell on Amazon too. So those are 2 main outlets where you can buy it. But we are trying to expand our business to where we can do more wholesale accounts. So like we've been approached by hundreds of companies that want to carry our product, but it's so limited and we sell it so fast that it's really hard to disperse it as much. So, we're in the process where like, all right, we got to just get a lot of inventory and then we just kind of disperse it to all the people who want it.
Now, this is just me personally kind of knowing or wanted to know, how do you like stuff like Amazon? Like, how do you get your stuff on Amazon?
Yeah, so they have a program called Fulfilled by Amazon where like any seller of any kind of product can register. They'll pay a monthly fee, but you basically ship your products to one of their warehouses and they fulfill your orders.
Really?
So they make it pretty easy.
So do they just let you know how much they want, like how much product they want?
Well, you can send them however much you want, and they kind of base how they tax you on how much you sell, how the storage fee. They have several fees, but like it's worth it because it's like the number one online retailer in the world. Everybody goes to Amazon. So
that's awesome to be on Amazon.
Yeah, for sure. And the good thing about Amazon, they have warehouses all over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah. So you got to get. So we've gotten clearances to sell in the UK, Japan, Australia, and the EU. So we're working on getting distribution set up in those countries right now.
What's the craziest country that you've sold to so far? Not the craziest, but like, what's the one you're like, I can't believe it's getting...
Like, there's been a few that I never even heard of before we actually sold a product there. It was one, Malta. It's like a island outside of Italy somewhere, like a really, really small island. I'm like, how are these people hearing about our stuff?
That's crazy.
But social media, the reach is crazy,
So what's I guess other than the United States, what's the second country that's buying the most?
UK. For sure. And that's why we made it a forefront, of our plans this year to get out there, get distributed. So
I'd say, like, you need to start traveling out there.
Yeah, I went out for the first time, in October of last year. We just did a whole blitz, did a media, like made a bunch of content, met with a few stores, just trying to hype our name up out there. And it went really well. We finally have stuff in Amazon out there. It's selling as we speak. So we're just kind of building our name up out there currently.
That's cool. So what's next then? Like, where are you going next?
After the UK, we got to go the whole EU because EU is different from the UK now. So we're setting up shop in Germany currently, and then we're going to be dispersing to all those EU countries. So that's like fourth quarter. We're kind of hoping to have that all set up.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
crazy.
blessing.
The lights is coming at you fast.
I know, man. It's been a blessing, though. You know, we knew we had a feeling that it would take off, but we didn't know like it would be expand globally this fast.
So, I guess has there since you've done it the last 2 years, like has there been like any celebrities or anybody like start buying your stuff? You're just like, oh my god, like.
Well, we had one random occurrence where DJ Khaled had our product and he posted on his story, unsolicited. One of our boys in Miami works at this golf course that he would always go to, and like he was like, "All right, I got you guys. I'm gonna hand this off to Khaled." So we big thanks to my boy Javier in Miami, but he gave Khaled one of our products and he put it on his story, just like, bam, and like. We didn't get like a huge like following or anything, but it was like recognition though. Like he did that unsolicited. Like he looked at that and he was like, "This is worthy of putting on my story," and I have millions of followers. So we're like, all right, once we get this in front of other people, big sneakerheads, like they're gonna see it. But he's been the biggest so far.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you told me about the ups so far. What about like the struggles of, your new business owner and new entrepreneur? I'm sure there's a lot of headaches.
For sure,
a lot of gains, but there's a lot of headaches in those too.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're communicating with people in China, they're on a whole different time zone. So like a lot of times I'm communicating with these people 3-4 in the morning because that's when those are work hours. So like there's been a lot of long nights where I'm like wondering like, okay, are they going to get this right? And then we've had to have shipments canceled because one thing was wrong, or like our supply chain got held up because sometimes we get our stuff shipped through the sea and it takes, 30, 60 days sometimes. And sometimes there's holdups that we have, no control over whatsoever. So we have to like postpone release dates. So there's been a lot of internal things on the logistics side that's, giving me nightmares and headaches, but like through perseverance and just knowing that like, all right, if we've got here so far, we can get past this. Of course. So a positive outlook has been my number one crutch. Anytime we have any kind of droughts or any kind of things that would make us worry, I always lean on like, all right, we didn't get this far by worrying. So, we're not going to worry about things we can't control and just keep push forward, because if you let things like that just bring you down, it's like, how do you expect to make real progress? So you just got to look at everything with a positive mindset. And that's what we've been doing anytime a pitfall will come about, but nothing major to where we had to like think about altering our business concept, but like, we're trying to prepare ourselves now for anything that would happen. That's why we're getting patents, getting, protections in every possible way to make sure this thing, goes the right way all the way through.
So, tell me about the product. So you put this in your shoe. So does it eliminate the crease? Like you have creases in your shoe.
Yep.
And you put this in the little sleeve, put it on the top.
Yep.
How long does it take for it to like eliminate the crease in the shoe?
Immediately.
Really?
Yeah. So like once it's really a form of physics. If you look at it, like there's a negative space inside your shoe from the top of your foot to the top of the shoe. So that negative space, if filled with something dense enough, should round out the leather or whatever fabric it is, just on a physics concept. So once you look at that, it's like, all right, as soon as I put this in my shoe, it's immediately going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's the strength of our social media. Like we are able to show that in a really emphatic way.
You got a good social media going.
Thanks. I appreciate that. And it makes them go crazy because a lot of people don't even care about creases, let alone would ever wear a crease protector. So it gets people who don't even care about it commenting because they're like, this is ridiculous. Like I would never even think of wearing something like this. That helps us a lot. Just them commenting about it. So like we love the fact that it's an immediate effect and we're able to really embellish it and take advantage of that,
So why do you think it's such a, because it's in the culture now that like, creases are bad
for sure.
Yeah. So why do you think that is? Because I've even heard of it. Like I guess I'm on like in between. Like I don't want all my shoes to be creased, but there's some I'm like whatever.
Right.
But like my J's, like I'm gonna use these on my J's just to make sure. Crispy. Yeah, I gotta keep them crispy. You gotta keep them looking new
for sure.
So why do you think that is? It's such a thing in right now.
I think it's been ingrained in the culture, like you said. Like it's been a part of hip hop culture, basketball culture, like just culture in itself. Because a lot of people care about their shoes, and some people look at shoes as like a confidence booster. When you get that new pair, that fresh pair, you step out, you feel good about yourself. And sometimes when you see a crease in it, you're like Like, I wish it looked better while I was wearing it. And like a lot of people feel that way. So, I mean, and a lot of people is millions of people. When you look at all over the world, people caring about their shoes.
Yeah.
And then nowadays, people spend a lot more on shoes than they were before. You know, the sneaker industry has ballooned to multi-billions because people reselling shoes, like worn shoes are at a premium now. Like a rare worn shoe can cost you thousands of dollars depending on what model it is.
Ridiculous.
And most people won't even wear them because they don't want to mess them up.
Yeah.
So we're trying to tap into that part of the culture. It's like, hey, it's okay to wear your shoes.
Wear them.
Wear it with that. You know, knock out those creases.
I feel like that's the number one problem on most shoes.
For sure.
Like people don't really care they're dirty because you can clean a shoe.
Exactly.
But it's like that whole mentality of like you get a crease, you can't get it out.
Yeah. So, and what was made, so like the first crease protector came out around 2014. You know, there's two different iterations of them. We've even put it on our box. It's like a subtle disc on the back of our box. There's a barcode that says please recycle, and it gives a template of those other two crease protectors that are out there. So most people, when they see that, they're see like, oh yeah, these are the ones that are out there that don't really work. I mean, they did the job, but they didn't really. Ours brings a different different feel to it because it eliminates creases from old shoes, and those other crease protectors aren't able to do that because they're just hard and they don't fill all the negative space.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Man, it's a lot of science in this thing.
It is. So thankfully, I worked in the footwear industry long enough to really realize, like, okay, these are little things that can be improved upon. And when you're just looking at it from a different perspective, you're like, okay, like there's an opportunity in this little niche here. And thankfully, no one else did it because we were surprised. Yeah, because like if you ever look at our comments on some of the stuff that we post, a lot of people be like, hey, I used to do that back in '83, I used to with my shoes, like all kind of people saying I used to do this back in the day with socks. Yeah, just no one takes the initiative to take the next step. Right, and sometimes it's very risky. Anytime. Yeah, I mean, it's the hardest thing to do, and I tell people that all the time. It's like the most risky thing and the hardest thing to do is bet on yourself. It's so true. Yeah, because it's so like true. You had the idea, and then you're like, all right, now the next step is I gotta put the effort in making this an actual thing. Exactly. And that's the hard part because it's so hard. You're betting on yourself. You're in your you have a family. Yep. And then your family is betting on you. And it's it's like you got a lot of responsibility, a lot of risk. For sure. You really have to be confident enough to know that the risk that you're taking is going to be rewarding, you know, and sometimes they don't reward out. Sometimes you have to like pivot and do something different. And I've had several other business ventures before this that did not work out, and that kind of built the steam up to start this because like I was like, you know what, going through the regular 9-to-5 route, working for somebody else, it just didn't. The outlook was bleak. You know, I knew I couldn't get where I wanted to go by going that route. And you know, I did quit my job. I did max out all my credit cards to start this, but I knew I just had that intuition, that feeling that this is going to work. And thankfully, I was justified by it. You know, it's continued success. So that's what I always tell any entrepreneur out there or aspiring entrepreneur to be like, hey, just bet on yourself, even though it may be the hardest thing to do, but it's going to be the most rewarding. Yeah. Yeah. And even if it doesn't work out, you're going to find a way. It's like, it's just true. Like it's not that you fail. You just learn how to not fail that way. That's exactly how I look at it. It's exactly how I look at it. Yeah, I that didn't work, but now I know how not to do it like that way. For sure. You learn from your mistakes. You take your bumps, you take your scratches, but you get back up and you're better from it, you know, because you've given a chance to do something different. You know, sometimes it doesn't work out, but like it could be the next step to getting to something that does work out. And that's how it worked out for me. And I'm just thankful that I kept persevering. You had, 30 attempts to make this thing. So it's not like you got it, you know, first time. Right. We didn't spitball it. You know, we took time and made sure we did it right. And, you know, sometimes it takes time and sacrifice to do that. So hopefully you have a support system around you that, you know, will help you, you know, actually make your dreams come true, because it's such a gratifying feeling when you have a vision in your head that doesn't exist in the world, and then you're able to put it out in the world and it's accepted on a broad scale. Like it's sometimes a road less traveled is the worthy path, you know, because it gives you the most gratification. So you said you had a lot of businesses, or not business, but what did you do before, I guess, before this? Yeah, so I was working in the footwear industry, retail full time, but on the side I was trying to do like flip cars, flip houses, you know, do anything possible to get other streams of incomes flowing, and they just never really panned out. You know how maybe because I couldn't devote the time, I never really like fully immerse myself into it. But you know that's what side hustle is all about. You know, you try to do it on the side, and it didn't work out until I actually quit everything and just fulfilled this because that's what it took. It was going to take your full time on making something worthy. So I tried a lot of different businesses before this happened, and thankfully, I learned throughout those mistakes that I won't make on this run. So it was all helpful, man.
So where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles originally.
Los Angeles, man. Sir. So you how long did you spend out there before you moved here?
So I was there pretty much my whole life until like middle school, like late middle school. I moved to Miami. Stayed out there for like 5 years. That's where I met the other owner of the business. My brother, he came up with me. We've been friends 20 years. And then I moved to Kansas City after high school. I went back to California after Miami and then stayed there for a few years.
All over the country.
Yeah, and then randomly I landed in Kansas City.
And then right in the middle.
Right, yeah. So it's been a hell of a journey on that side for sure.
So how long you been in KC for?
I've been here about 10 years now.
10 years.
Yeah.
You love it?
I mean, it's growing on me. It takes a while. I mean, when you live in LA and Miami.
LA, Miami, you got two great weather cities.
Right. It's tough.
You got beaches on both. Yeah, we got a lake.
You're right. It's tough to adapt to on
a pond.
Right. But the people, I've immersed myself in the community, and like it's a welcoming place. Yeah. And much easier on the finances too. A lot cheaper to live here. You can actually build a financial foundation for yourself here. So I've enjoyed it in a lot of other aspects.
So you moved back to, you said you moved back to KC for your wife, or you just kind of?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I moved out here just to work, and I met her when I was out here, and then we ended up staying together throughout the entire time. So we've built our foundation here. Yeah. That's why it was easier to settle here just because she's from here. So
what did she think about you starting this?
I mean, she's seen me go through all the bumps and the bruises with all these other businesses, so she knew that I was going to put my all into this. And she had a lot more confidence because she knew I worked in the footwear industry, and it was something that was just so easily understood from her standpoint. She was just like, go, whatever I can do to support, I'm here. And I just can't be thankful, enough for her.
It's always good to have a spouse or a significant other that's backing you.
Yeah, for sure. She held down the fort a lot of times when I was just like going through it financially, just putting more into business as opposed to us, so like, we went through a few things, throughout this ride. I'm thankful that we're able to come out on top and, still together, and, and she's a full supporter of the business. Yeah. Anything I asked her to help with, she's always there. So I'm just thankful for that, for sure.
So how'd you come up with the name? I'm looking at the hat, looking at this CREASE BEAST.
So it was random. So me and the other founder of the business, we were out in LA one time just going snowboarding. We were like on our way up there.
Snowboarding?
Yeah.
You gotta be one of the only black people I know.
That was my first time, just to put it out there. So I've been like 3 or 4 times. So I'm nowhere near like an actual snowboarder.
I am not snowboarding or skiing. None of that. Raisin in a sugar bowl. I'm good.
Yeah, so it was different for me at that time, but we were traveling with a friend, and we're just going through random business names, business ideas, and we're trying to come up with a name, and she was the one who actually brought up the name, and we both looked at her just like, that sounds really good, and the wheels started turning. So we credit someone else for actually making the actual name. She's a consultant for us now. She always helps us with social media content. So, but yeah, a friend came up with a name, and we just adapted it, trademarked it, just started pushing it.
Yeah. And then I like what's written on here is I'm a motherfucking beast.
Yes.
There's a star in the middle of the U, so it's not full curse word, but I love it.
And we put on the box parental advisory on the front, just in case for people who are a little sensitive. But we have had a bunch of parents hit us up like, I don't want this product with these curse words on it. So it's funny, but you don't even see it. It's just branding, and my buddy, the other founder of the business, he's a branding genius. Yeah. That's where he came from. His whole background, branding, advertising, marketing. So he's the one who designed all the product. Everything you see on the social media side, he's done. That's what he's done.
So, like, you guys got a very, like, it's clean, like, but it's like up to date with, like, trend. Like, it's hard to describe. Like, I see this in, like, I'm not trying to get you sued or anything, but it like looks like a Nike product. So it looks like it's been out for a minute and it's like it's a reputable brand.
And that's what we're thankful for, because he was able to put that out there. Like, he was able to design this to where it had the clean aesthetic, but still the pop to it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That theatrical kind of vibe it has. And like he's a genius on this side. And the stuff he comes up with, like, we got some stuff coming in the pipeline, brand new designs, brand new inventions. Like, it's a lot.
Like I said, I'm sure this is not just it.
Right. This is just the start. So I'm excited.
You got to come out with a shoe too.
I mean, that might be somewhere down the line. Like, hopefully, already integrated.
Shoe, no,
right? Like, CREASE BEAST integrated into it, something you never know. Like, opportunities are endless from the shoe industry. So once this really takes storm, like, people are going to really recognize, what we can bring to the table, and hopefully it's a Nike or somebody like that, because we took a trip to Nike's campus last year. We had an opportunity with this accelerator I was involved in. We were able to tour the campus, go to their innovation grounds, and I actually gave one of the innovators the product. It's like, hey, like, Nike's been kind of like putting messages out, like they're kind of running like low on the innovation side. They're like trying to come up with new things, but they've never tapped into the shoe care space.
That's crazy.
So they can pretty much take over anywhere. Hopefully, like, so we'll see.
So you willing to be bought out?
Yes, for sure.
You're like, I don't want to do this forever. I ain't trying to hustle for this long. I want to get some money.
I mean, you already know. You already know, man. So I'm not trying to do this forever. I'm taking my beatings, so.
Nike comes with that fat check. Island in Miami.
I will never look at a crease again in my life.
I'm sure you won't still be in Kansas City. Mr. California, Miami boy.
Yeah, man. I mean, as soon as we get that check, man, we gone.
Good.
But yeah, we got to secure all the patents. We got to secure all that stuff first, just so like our valuation is as high as it could be. And that's the process we're in now.
So how long is the process? Like, does that take, the patents and stuff?
It could take years,
really?
Unfortunately. So
and you're still new.
Yeah. So like we started early with the patents, but like realistically, it's probably not going to be all to where what we want for another 3 years. I would say minimum.
So can you not do anything for, like, if a company that's out in China wants to do the exact same thing, they come up with a different name, yada, yada, yada. Can you not take any legal action until that patent's done?
Well, we do have like certain rights in certain countries, depending on the kind that we filed. So like we do have a sliver of rights in China, but China's probably the one place that it's the hardest to get anything like really, really like taken out. Like I said, we've already have a copycat in China right now that we're currently in litigation with. So
it didn't help that. I mean, it's made in China, and they're just like, well, we could do the same thing.
And this cool thing about it is they sell it for like on their little random sites that they have. Like usually Americans can't access those sites. It's only a China-based like marketplace, but they're selling it for like $5, like dirt cheap. So I'm like, all right. That's just a smack in the face right there, So, hopefully like everything gets solved, but you can't, like, if you look at all the big designer brands, Louis Vuitton, like Nike, there's all kind of copycats everywhere. Like you essentially got to play with whack-a-mole with these copycats, like as long as you got a strong, legal team behind you, you can do what you can, but you're not going to be able to prevent it 100%.
Well, that's kind of how you made it.
For sure. It was
people try to be like you.
Right. So we take it as flattery, but at the same time, like we want to be the one and only. And the one that you look at, like that's the premium brand. That's the one we're striving to be like. And that's the kind of, we're trying to set that precedent.
Yeah. So what's your favorite shoe?
Favorite shoe?
Been in the shoe game for a while now.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Well, there's definitely several. I mean, my closet is crazy at this point, but like Nike Dunks. I don't know, probably, it's not that much compared to like OG sneakerheads, but like 100 plus.
It's a lot more than I do. I mean, shit, I got like 20.
So I mean, it just build up over time.
You acting like that wasn't like a big number.
But if you like, if you ask like the big sneakerheads out there, they got hundreds, thousands sometimes. So I'm just trying to get mine
enough.
Right.
You got enough
for sure. But yeah, the Nike Dunk has always been my favorite model. I've always rocked it all throughout my childhood years. But my favorite shoe ever, Jordan 4, the bread color, the black, gray, and red. They just recently came out.
I saw that.
A leather version of it. But that was the shoe that got me into shoes right there. When I seen those shoes, I'm like, I want those.
It's like almost everybody loves J's.
Yeah, I mean.
Mine's the ones.
Okay, yeah.
One's the classic
timeless.
ones. Oh,
timeless classic.
I just can't. Those and like the 11s.
Oh yeah.
But just a couple of them. Like the patent black
The red on the bottom.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Like there's a couple of those I like, and then the ones, and I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like a lot of the Jordans either, but there's a few that I'm like, all right, every time a colorway comes out of this model, I'm looking at it, So the Jordan 4, Jordan 3s, 1s, I love all those are all timeless models, so you really can't go wrong with those.
Yeah. So I guess working at the Foot Locker and stuff, did you have like first dibs? I know it was always like a myth.
I did. They do. Like, I mean, it's selective now. It got kind of like more restrictive as the years went upon, but like we always got first dibs. We always secured our pair before the customers came in, so I was always up on game.
The perks of working there, I guess.
For sure. I mean, you got to get the perks.
Of course.
You got to be the first one with it if you're working there. Like, why are you working there? Like, some people will try to apply just for the discount.
To get,
literally.
That's crazy.
Like, that's what they're there for.
I get it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, ain't nothing wrong with it. So you told me your next like few steps here, you got your couple of new products coming out. What's your like 5-10 year goal with this?
So a 5-10 year goal would definitely be to elevate the brand on a worldwide stage to where like we're in all the main countries, most visible crease protector in the game. Like we want to be the crease protector. When everybody talks about this particular product, we want to be the gold. We want to be the gold standard essentially. We feel like we can get to that before the 5 to 10 year mark, but that's definitely our goal, like a long-term goal is to be the number one crease protector in the world. Also is to build it up to potentially sell the business if we, or go public, whatever comes, whichever is the better route to go. We have aspirations of doing a lot of different things business wise, a lot of different sectors we want to tap into. Like we feel like this is just scratching the surface. So if in 5 to 10 years we can build our company up to like where a big investor wants to buy it from us, so be it, because we got a lot more to do.
Yeah, because I'm sure you're like most entrepreneurs. It's like, all right, this is one thing.
Yeah.
Like, what's the next thing?
On to the next.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So someone buys your company. What do you want to do after that?
Well, like my life goal is just to be like a philanthropist that just invests in all kind of different projects, whether it be on the humanitarian side, just helping, with different poverty areas around the world, just helping solve the world's ills in my little space that I can. I just want to be able to have that financial flexibility to chill, develop my family in a comfortable space, and then just kind of work on the creative side, like, tapping into other people's ideas, making them come to life, just be that philanthropist that does all, just kind of like investing in things that I believe in. I have my own projects that I want to work on, real estate, things like that, that'll definitely build up the, your net worth essentially. But I'm trying to build generational wealth, and, in the Black community, it's really hard. We have a lot more hurdles typically to get to that stage. So, I just want to be in that position to where like I'm able to give back how, I was able to, get these opportunities to people, that look like us that, are trying to make it or just don't know how to make it. They have good ideas, but they just don't know how to bring them to life. So
I'm
trying
glad
to
you said
that.
something like that, because I was going to ask you that. Being a Black entrepreneur in this world is tough. Sure. What are some hurdles that you face that going along this journey, you're like, damn, this is...
Yeah, I mean, the loan factor, like if your credit isn't legit, which is unfortunately like a lot of people in poverty who don't have a lot, they don't really have good credit, So if you don't come from like a background where like this, like it's like a thing where everybody's make sure their credit is right, then you're pretty much digging yourself out of a hole, The way it's set up, when you get out of high school, you take on loans, like it's not really strategically set up for most people to succeed. You really have to like really know, because you don't really get that financial education in your general education anymore, ever really. You have to learn about it other ways. So, I think it's important to know that, school is great and all, it gives you all the education, but you have to also seek outside education to build up, especially in the Black community. That's not enough. Like you have to learn stuff, in other areas to really, really succeed. And I'm thankful that I didn't have like the best upbringing. I was raised in a single parent household. My mom did everything. So, you learn from seeing that and stuff in person, like, all right, it's going to take a little bit more for me to like really get over the hurdle, So being denied loans, being denied grants, just because I didn't have the proper credit, but I had a good idea. Like those are some of the hurdles I had to go through and just figure out a different way.
I feel your pain. I went through the same thing. It's just like a lot of people just don't see your vision.
Right.
And a lot of people just like, they just want numbers. It's a numbers game for them.
Don't give you the benefit of the doubt at all, you know, so you have to finagle it sometimes. And, you know, if you know the right people, that's really what it's all about, you know, is knowing the right people and tapping into your network and really expanding yourself and putting yourself out there like, hey, like, I want to connect with people who are like-minded, who, you know, have similar aspirations. And those are things that help me out, you know, along the journey, is just connecting with people, networking, and just making those connections that would make it easier along the road, you know.
Cool. So I forgot to ask you this earlier, because you said you lived in KC for 10 years. What's been your favorite part about KC? Like I said, you Miami, California, LA. I mean,
right.
You big city.
For sure, yeah. So the food has been really surprisingly like the best part. I mean, there's so many different places that you can eat out here, and like it's real like that.
I'm going to be that Kansas City guy. Have you tried all the barbecue?
I have. Yes.
What's your favorite? You got to say the right one.
I know. It's always a pain point anytime you say barbecue out here, because somebody's got a stronger opinion about something for sure. But you know, I tend to lean on like the more hole in the wall side. So I'm not really big on like the main players. So LC's
good.
Has been my favorite so far.
All right.
Yeah.
You tried Slaps down here?
I've tried Slaps. Okay. Very good. That's definitely my top 5 for sure.
So back to the question. What's your favorite thing other than the food? What's your favorite thing?
Honestly, the people. Like you know, in LA and, you know, Miami, those are metropolis cities, fast-paced. People are mean. Like, people don't care as much, you know, because people have their own stuff they're dealing with every day. You know, you never know what people are going through in these big, huge cities where it's so expensive to live. There's a lot more potential problems and distractions. But here, people are just more, you know, inviting. It's more of that mom and pop feel. You know, my mom was raised in the Midwest. She was raised in Oklahoma City. So, you know, that those kind of roots is what kind of like made it feel like real homely for me, because, you know, people are just naturally welcoming, say hi to you when you walk by, you know, just everybody's more polite. You know, there's just less mad people around at the end of the day. So it just makes it easier to kind of adapt and do your own thing when you can live freely in your space, not worried about crazy people all around.
Yeah, that's very true.
For sure.
I always tell people, like, Kansas City is like the biggest small city that you can be in.
That's a good description.
Because it's like, we got everything, not everything. It's like we're a big city, but on a smaller stage.
For sure.
Because we got a lot of the same stuff that the big cities have. We just are smaller stage. And then, like, everybody knows everybody.
Right.
I can throw a rock down the street and either hit somebody I know or I'm related to.
For sure. It's a small world within Kansas City, that's for sure. I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, it's cool, though. Like, people are just naturally nice and friendly. And I've always loved that about the place.
So have you, like, launched your item, like, or your product a lot in KC, too? Like, going to the stores and...
Well, we've talked to a few stores here that sell shoes, but we haven't like had any like actual deals. We did have a deal with I don't know if you know Hibbett Sports.
Yep.
We did a run with them last year. We were putting like 250 of their stores. A lot of them were in KC, but we decided to stop that relationship with them. We just focus more online because we're just making more money online as opposed to putting it in stores. But nothing like concrete yet with any local companies, but we hope to do that as we expand our wholesale side.
Because I'm sure you're hoping this to get a bigger footprint and kind of put them in everywhere.
For sure. Like, ideally want them in every footwear store, you know, because if they sell crease protectors, we want them in there. We want to be in their stores, even if they don't. Like, people have to know, like, this is like a sock now. Like, you know, when I was in footwear and I was selling shoes, there was always pushing like, hey, make sure you try to sell a sock with every shoe you sell, you know, because that's naturally what goes with shoes. So we look at ourselves like, hey, if you're buying expensive shoes, these need to go with them.
Yeah. So, and then the prices are bad too. It's $30, right?
$30, yes.
That is not bad at all.
Yeah. So, like, you know, the current protectors on the market, you know, they're tier below on the price wise, but you're not getting what you get out of our product. We're getting premium quality product. Good for old shoes, good for new shoes. So we add a lot more value to the purchase. You know, that's why, and it lasts longer too. Like, the foam is built to last.
I don't see this like fading away anytime soon.
No way. So, I mean, you save more money over time because the crease protectors now, like, you usually have to replace them very frequently, or because there's one style that goes inside of your shoe and sticks to the top of it, but you can't take it out and put it back in because that adhesive rubs off and you need to buy a new one. So, like, our lifespan is a lot longer which contributes to why the price is a little higher.
So tell me, I guess, since you are at the spot you kind of, not what you want to be at yet, because, you want to, I know you got more aspirations, but I guess, what would you say to yourself, your younger self, going through all the struggles and everything? If you can go back, what would you say to yourself?
I would say bet on yourself sooner.
Yeah.
Because like, I think the few times I tried I think the first entrepreneurial jump I took, I was like 22. I tried to start a business back, at that age. And like, but it wasn't like something that was my idea. It was somebody else's idea that I was trying to bring to life. So I felt if I would have like concentrated on something that I had an idea of sooner, then it would have popped off way sooner for me. But, that's looking back on a lot of different things. You could say that, but I really feel that if I would have just kept that intuition, like bet on yourself, because I had a lot of ideas, coming up and, in the younger, my 20s, but like, I never really took the chance of like making anything come to life. So if I were to give my younger self some advice, like, hey, just bet on yourself sooner, because it's going to work. Like, we're all different people. We all have a purpose. Yeah. So like, you got to listen to your intuition, because it's telling you like, hey, this is the route you should be leaning on, because this is what's going to bring you ultimate happiness if you pursue the things that are inside of you, even if they don't necessarily exist. So like, I would definitely tell myself that, like, bet on yourself sooner, because, I would have been much more, gratified if I would have had this kind of success at a younger age.
Cool. So then this is to everybody out there. So why should someone buy your product?
If you want to keep your shoes clean, you want to keep them lasting a long time, if you want to, wear them without creases, this is the product for you. I mean, it's plain and simple. If you care about your shoes and you spend a lot of money on your shoes, and a lot of people spend a lot of money on shoes but don't want to wear them just because they don't want to mess them up.
Because of the crease.
Exactly.
Yeah, wear the damn shoes.
Right.
That should be your next slogan. Wear the damn shoe.
It's crazy you mentioned that, because like we kind of go to war with this sector of people in the foot, like the sneakerhead side, the wear your shoe crowd. Like they don't want to wear crease protectors. They don't even want to hear about them. Like, they're so angry when they see them. They always comment like, "Oh, just wear your damn shoes. Wear your damn shoes." We're like, "Yeah, wear them, but wear the crease beast." Yeah. So like, we want you to wear your shoes.
That's the reason why you have this, to wear your damn shoes.
Exactly. So we just put a little twist on it. But yeah, I mean, if you want your shoes to last a long time and stay crispy for their lifespan, that's the product for you.
So how can people find you? All your socials and everything.
So CREASEBEAST.com is where we primarily sell. You can find us, all of our products on our website. We sell products on our website that we don't sell on Amazon. So our website has a variety of everything that we sell. You can check us on Instagram at The Crease Beast, on TikTok at The Crease Beast. That's pretty much our handle throughout all the social channels, but our the main ones, our main players are Instagram and TikTok. That's where we have our biggest following.
I just got TikTok. I'm just now learning.
It's a doozy for sure. It's tough.
Do you handle all your social media?
I do not.
Yeah, so you'd be lucky. I got to do all of it.
Man, I know.
It's hard to keep up.
It is. One of them alone is a full-time job.
Yep.
Let alone 5, 6
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
All three, all the time.
And it's worthy. It's worth it though.
Yeah. It's free advertisement.
Exactly. And
like, it's free marketing.
Right.
And so that's how I look at it. So it's like, I'm posting stuff every single day.
You have to. Even if it's just a random little picture of something, you don't have to be a video every time. As long as you stay in their face and all these different networks, like, your business is going to build up. It's a pretty simple formula.
Yep.
It's time consuming.
That's another tip for all the new entrepreneurs out there.
For sure. You got to put the time in on social media, because that's where everybody's looking at now. All of our information is on our phones. Everybody's looking at their pages, their timelines. You want to be on all those timelines.
Yep. Well, my friend, I appreciate you being out or coming out.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we got to get you back out to smoke another cigar. I think you tried a little bit last time.
I did. It was my first endeavor, but I'm interested in trying more. So I'll definitely come out.
We gotta
for sure
just show you the
ropes.
Yeah, to show you the ropes.
Definitely, because you got a nice establishment here, and I want to mesh well. Not appear like a rookie next time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, good deal, man. Like I said, I appreciate you having out, and everybody go check him out, Crease Beast. Get your product, and you can even find this on Amazon too. Absolutely. So don't give me no excuse where you can't find it. You got the biggest distributor in the world. Yes, well, I appreciate you, man. So like I said, hit us up, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you follow us. This is the Strawberry Hill Podcast, and we are out.
Goodbye, everybody.